and welcome back into today's video. We just covered the Imallexx situation, and it was disgusting. And I had a lot of comments that wanted me to talk about Cody Ko. That's when I remembered I did a video August 5th, 2021 about Gabby Hanna. That video holds significant context about Tana and Cody. It's alleged that another creator had always known about Cody Ko and weaponized this information for gain. Someone else may have broken serious laws, and there may be tangible evidence in a flash drive of intimate DMs between Tana and Cody. This is being held by a third-party corroborator who Tana paid off. I tracked down dates to pinpoint times. Now I made some important connections that nobody's talking about, and it's pretty obvious to me why Cody is being so silent. In today's episode of Exploring YouTubers. So many comments from my last video wanted me to deep dive Cody Ko. So here we are, and if you're unfamiliar, Cody Ko is a YouTuber with over 6 million subscribers. He has several other successful channels with a lot of subscribers. And some of his videos around a specific time is pretty weird. Currently on his social blade, you can see a massive dip in subscribers, over negative 150,000. And the condition of his channel is not looking good. And the reason for this pertains to an alleged crime that was supposed to have happened around 2016 at Playlist Live. The event happened from April 22nd to the 24th in Orlando, Florida, and September 2nd to the 4th in Washington, D.C. It was somewhere around these times that Tana alleged that a 25-year-old Cody Ko slept with then 17-year-old Tana, which would be a crime. The current situation first came to my attention from a user's suggestion on Instagram. If you guys have any suggestions, I'll link my Instagram below. And the reason that this began to circulate was because of a live recording of her show Canceled, just at the end of May in Sacramento, where she said this.
Who's the smallest you've ever had? Oh my God, do no one look at me, Cody Ko. Delete the videos. I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that. What? Sorry. Delete the videos. Oh my God, I wasn't here. I'm like, we need to get like a Cody Ko reacts video tonight. No.
Oh, he's not going to react to that. And this was followed by a bunch of smaller channels making videos talking about the situation and an increase in suggestions for myself to talk about this situation. Not to mention the Rolling Stones article released on June 24th, 24. I just realized it was released on the 24th, which is ironic because that's Tana's birthday. And then Tana released a statement of clarification on episode 88, June 21st, 2024 of the Canceled podcast with Tana and Brooke. In this podcast episode, she explains that she handles situations like this pretty poorly and didn't mean for this to be brought to light.
We were on tour. We were saying a bunch of on stage in a bunch of different games, and we thought we could trust the people as we had the whole tour. Because it really was like at every other show, we were saying the crazy about people, and it wasn't being brought to light. And however, I understand that this isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
At this point, she formally alleged that the rumors that most people speculated to be true were actually true.
I've tried to talk about this a million times, and I feel like I never have the right words. But it's everywhere all over the internet, and I know people want me to talk about it, and I'm going to do my best right now, you know? I mean, I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17, and he was 25. Yeah. It happened.
So this isn't the first time that Tana's talked about this situation, but it is the first time she's talked about it with such clarity. Back in my 2021 video, you could just really tell that she was still in the processing of her emotions and the nuances involved in this situation.
I don't know if I was 17 or 18. I was like on the brink, but I was at a Playlist Live and they were like trying to with me. And it's something I never even like thought of again. You know what I mean? It was just like, and obviously it was like an older guy and whatever, but I mean, we're friends now. And like, obviously I'm not saying I should, it's right. It's not right. It's entire, but I don't know if I was 17 or 18. And I don't know if anything so bad ever happened to where it's like condemning them. It was more just like a flirty weird encounter or whatever. And a couple weeks ago, I got a call from.
Now later in this video, we're going to be connecting some very important dots with some empirical evidence. But it's very clear to me that this is something that Tana struggled with emotionally, as it's not the only time that she's brought it up. This clip comes from Canceled episode 17 from December 9th, 2021. The piece I'm about to show you is from YouTuber D'Angelo Wallace's video. It will be linked below.
I was 17 at the time, 18. I started kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Kalen, shout out Cody Ko.
The interesting thing about this clip is it was cut out of the original podcast episode, as can be seen here.
And so I started kind of hooking up with other people. Eventually,
he
completely gone. I can only speak on this anecdotally, but it said that Cody reached out to Tana and asked her to remove this. I think the exact quote going around is that he said, "Are we good?" Now, this does lend itself credit towards Cody Ko attempting to keep this silent over the years. According to D'Angelo,
but now your cowardice has reached a new low. You've tried speaking and you've tried silence, and now you're choosing censorship. On your YouTube channel, where you've been pumping out content nearly every day now, I couldn't find a single comment on your last video about this situation. Not even one. Comparing that to the comment section on your Instagram, where every single comment I saw was about this, it's clear that you're heavily censoring your audience on YouTube. But surely you must have realized the limits by now, since people have just transferred the conversation over to your wife's channel. The fact that her comment section is overrun due to your decision to stay silent about this should be all the proof you need that that decision was wrong. At this point, your silence and censorship are a response with disturbing implications. The only thing that I've seen this hidden portion of your audience asking for is the truth. So why aren't you telling it?
which I think because this story has gotten so big at this point, it's a little bit more difficult for the moderators to censor things. If you go to the Cody Ko channel, so in his most recent video, let's check out the comments. One saying, "Damn, Kendrick really wrote the anthem for 2024. Another saying, "Better get the ukulele soon." Another saying, "Why you got a friend with a case, huh?" We're gonna talk about that a little bit later in the video. Not to mention that his subreddit was so heavily moderated that his fans actually created an additional subreddit so they could actually have conversations about things. It's called Cody Ko Unfiltered. It says, "This sub is for Cody Ko fans without the censorship of the regular sub. This is not to hate on Cody Ko, but to have a place where discussions are allowed." Do you know how strange that is? Even weirder, one user says, "Can we put the Cody isn't involved with his mods argument to rest?" Showing a list of all the moderators. And I'm not going to cycle through this because it looks like these are some non-public figures, but these are people that he went to school with at Duke University and people that he hangs out with IRL. And apparently, they're heavily moderating his subreddit. So yes, it is concerning that these serious alleged crimes are being heavily and obviously censored. Even more concerning is that if this did take place, you 100% knew she was 17.
to be 100% truthful, when I look back at the Cody situation, I definitely am like, why was he doing that? You know what I mean? And there were so many situations. There was a situation with Gabby Hanna at a playlist live where she pulled him aside and told him like, "Yo, she's 17." And then we still went and hooked up. And I can look at that and be like,
what the
why were you doing that? But there isn't a part of me, at least at 25 now. I mean, I look back and I would never do anything like that. So I'm like,
Fuck
what
no.
the was wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I don't associate or hold it with trauma because I am such a comparative person where I'm like, so many worse things have happened to me.
One of the biggest pieces of anecdotal evidence in this situation is a third-party corroboration, as pointed out by D'Angelo.
What lends the most credibility to Tana's claims, and what is really the most damning thing for you, Cody, is a clip that you might not have even seen yet. See, I read the Rolling Stone article, I watched the YouTube videos about this, and they all missed something. And I understand why. The clip I'm about to show you is extremely hard to find. The original has been lost to time, and it's a wonder we have this on video at all. But if there was anything to give me any more clarity about these allegations before I formed my opinion, I was going to find it. Remember how Tana said that fellow YouTuber Gabby Hanna tried to stop you before everything allegedly went down? Well, did you know that Gabby is actually on record telling the exact same story several years ago?
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, "Hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage, watch it." And he's like, "Oh my God, thank you for telling me." And then he turned that.
This is really bad.
That specific clip is from a 2021 video, and the context surrounding it is even worse. And there is a huge problem in commentary, as pointed out by D'Angelo.
Instead of researching to find these answers like I did, many of your fans seem far more interested in attacking your accuser.
I have seen so many comments, but what was she wearing? It's Tana, so who cares? Well, it's Tana Mongeau.
The reaction to this has been unsurprising but incredibly disappointing. Demanding proof that they know she can't provide, acting like she's only doing this to gain clout or ruin you somehow, despite the fact that she's never once put your name in a video title over this. Or worst of all, implying that a 17-year-old could have truly consented to any of this. But let's be clear about one thing. That is not the case. No amount of retroactive age calculations or what-if scenarios change the fact that what Tana described would be, objectively speaking, a crime. A crime which you've said absolutely nothing about. And even if this wasn't illegal, you remember being 25. You would have known then, as I currently know at age 25, that nobody this age should need an explanation for why a 17-year-old is off limits. Because you remember being 17 too.
It was more than a viewer's problem or creators just ignoring it. Some creators were hiding it. Some were even said to be weaponizing it, which is terrible. But the context around that Gabby Hanna clip reveals a lot. Again, going back to my 2021 video, one of the most deeply concerning issues about this is that Tana only came out about this because another creator alleged to be Gabby Hanna forced her to speak about it. Bad experience, and she doesn't really understand the dynamic from back then to now, probably because she's just now had to think about it and having to process all these emotions at once. But what's bringing this up? Well, I'm glad you asked.
And a couple weeks ago, I got a call from that, can I say it?
Are they doing an article?
That Gabby Hanna was trying to sell to them that this YouTuber like with me when I was like underage, and then it was up, and I was like, what if this was my trauma?
So this is not good, directly outing somebody's personal issues when they're not ready to speak about it. And apparently other creators knew about this too, as pointed out by YouTuber Chaz Kirschman.
And then there's this tweet that Keemstar made saying, Cody Ko, statutory of Tana. This is what I know. Years ago, Gabby Hanna told me in an off-record statement that a 25-year-old Cody Ko was kissing a 17-year-old Tana at Playlist Live in Florida. The age of consent in Florida is 18. Anyone 24 or older hooking up with a 16, 17-year-old is statutory. Gabby told me she pulled Cody Ko aside to inform him Tana was 17, and Cody Ko said thank you for the warning to Gabby. Gabby said later that night, Cody Ko had sex with Tana, even though she warned him. So could this be the person that Gabby was trying to sell the story to?
Also connected dots by D'Angelo.
But the reason it hasn't caught on yet, despite all of this, is that none of your friends, nobody on your level, nobody in the commentary niche with enough pull is willing to admit that this situation makes you look terrible.
A lot of people like him a lot, and they really are like doing any kind of mental gymnastic to just ignore it.
Now there's some pretty big nuances in this situation. Number one being that it wouldn't be any creator's place to come out and talk about another creator's emotional situations, especially if they wasn't ready. Because publicly discussing Tana's situation without her being okay with it could have caused further harm. However, in some jurisdictions, there may be legal obligations for somebody to report a crime, especially if it has to do with a minor. During that time in 2016, Gabby Hanna was 25 years old, the same age as Cody Ko. Consequences for failing to report are criminal charges. Legal protections are that good faith reporters are generally protected from civil or criminal liability. Even the identity of the reporter is usually kept confidential. These laws are in place in Florida to mandate reporting suspected ABUSC of children and vulnerable adults with significant penalties for failing to do so. Now, it is possible that Gabby did report this to the police. We don't know. And many of you might remember when Gabby was trying to expose literally everyone. In addition, and to make matters even worse, it seems that Gabby Hanna saw that Tana liked a tweet in support of Joey Garcefa. And as you know, Gabby Hanna has been speaking out against several other people. Joey Garcefa was one of those people. Just because Tana liked a tweet in support of somebody that Gabby Hanna apparently does not like, this is her response.
That's gross.
I know. I liked the Joey Graceffa tweet about what, just impertinence to like his video or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I get this call. Gabby Hanna called me and said this YouTuber was trying to hook up with you when you were
Oh, ew, I hate that.
And I was
hate
like,
that.
I didn't even think about the fact. I was like, damn, what I'm thinking about, I guess that could be something that could be, but it's mine to like have or not have. And it
You
was
cannot
so
bring someone
wild.
else's trauma public. Like if you've never talked about it, if you're friends with this person, like regardless of how wrong it was. Ew.
Now, in hindsight, looking back on when Gabby Hanna was posting all these videos, it looks like she was having mental health issues, and we need to take that apart and understand that you can have compassion for somebody that's going through mental health issues, but their mental health issues do not excuse them or give them a pass to hurt other people. That's really important, and understanding that nuance is very key. Now that you have this important context, let's put focus back on Cody. This entire situation is alleged, and like D'Angelo said,
Nobody can definitively take these allegations as proof, But at the same time, they should still be looked at and not treated as an open secret and swept under the rug like you've been doing for so many years now. And from the way the situation keeps popping up more and more often, it's clear that there's only so much rug sweeping you can do before people start taking a closer look at things.
I want you guys to understand exactly what's going on here. There's a need for tangible evidence. We're looking at criminal versus civil. For a criminal case, tangible evidence is essential to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. This might include communication, text messages, emails, witness testimonies, or physical evidence. Those things don't exist right now, and unless somebody comes forward with more, we're more in the civil realm. In civil cases, the burden of proof is lower, requiring a preponderance of evidence. Anecdotal evidence may be considered, but the outcome depends on the credibility and weight of the presented testimonies. And this is why that corroboration with Gabby Hanna in that clip is so important.
People make accusations all the time, specifically regarding things that are very difficult to prove or disprove, unfortunate as that may be. But when somebody makes an allegation and they say they have a witness, and that witness can be found telling the exact same story years before any of this came out, that's not something I can just ignore. In a situation that cannot be proven, corroboration by a third party goes a long way. And frankly, Cody, the allegations against you seem to have been corroborated.
And this is why it's such a big deal, but we need documentation. All evidence must be documented meticulously. This includes dates, times, and descriptions of all interactions and communications relevant to the case. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to lay out all the most important pieces that corroborate the possibility, meaning we're going to examine the context of which the alleged situation arose. This includes the relationships between the parties involved and the prior history or circumstances surrounding the alleged situations. So first, let's see if they were even at Playlist Live. Some of this looks obvious, but I want to give you guys a visual. So what I did here was I mapped out the events and when they attended. So we have here Orlando 2016. We have Cody Ko attended officially. We have Gabby Hanna attended officially. And Tana did not attend officially, but she had an official announcement in video. They were also all at the Playlist Live in Washington, D.C. in 2016. And again, this is important because Tana's birthday is June 24th, 1998. Orlando Playlist Live was April 22nd to the 24th, and Washington was September 2nd to the 4th. And this is the difference between a crime or not. Cody would have been 25 at this time, as well as the anecdotal witness, Gabby Hanna. So already we got to understand that the situation is within the realm of possibility. But even that's not enough. Tana released a video collaboration with Cody on May 13th, 2016. They did this collaboration right after Playlist Live. And in this video, she's 17 years old. And the conversation that they're having, well, it's uncomfortable.
Teach me some teen slang.
Okay, well, I was gonna write it
Alright, so
down.
I'm way too old to be on YouTube, obviously.
Same. I mean, I turned 30 really soon, and it's just kind of like the end of my career. You know, it's
sad. I mean, you need to stop.
yeah. Honestly,
I'm joking.
this is it.
She knows a whole bunch of slang and cool words because she's, a teen, whatever. So I'm here basically just to learn some teen slang, right? So do you want to?
Yeah, I'd love to. No, seriously, I'm just like your biggest fan. Like, this is such an honor. Like, oh my god.
There's a couple things to point out here, like he's acknowledging that she's a teen. Another thing is that they're within each other's personal bubble, touching legs, and at the very least feel closer than strangers. And at one point she stands up to walk away. The dude stares at her butt as she walks away. Look again. They also did another collab after the Washington Playlist Live on Cody's channel. This on December 26, 2016. In 2021, Tana said she didn't know if she was 17 or 18.
I don't know if I was 17 or 18. I was like on the brink, but I was at a Playlist Live.
But confirming recently that she was in fact 17.
I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25.
We have Keemstar confirming it was Playlist Live in Florida. And it would have to be Playlist Live in Florida of 2016. Because the Washington, D.C. event, she would have been 18. Meaning it wouldn't be illegal, just really creepy. Not to mention it wouldn't even pass for the Romeo and Juliet law. Which if the person's 16 to 17, the activity can only be between the ages of 16 to 23. And all three of these people being in the same location corroborates a realm of possibility. And Cody completely agrees and understands that men being with 17-year-olds is creepy because he did commentary on it.
And I'm like, I think old rich men are just upset with one another because they both want to be else. And the one side seems to get away with it.
Yeah.
Seinfeld with a 17-year-old?
I know, that was crazy,
That
man.
picture blows my mind.
I know. Just out in public.
Just, yeah. And this is my prom queen.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. She's top of her class. Valedictorian.
This ironic in the worst way because
I saw him making out with a girl at a party.
it's interesting that Cody will acknowledge another man being with a 17-year-old as wrong and creepy, but will not acknowledge anything to do with him. This is very much a dodge of ethical responsibilities. Society expects individuals, especially those in a position of power or influence, to address situations like this because silence can be seen as guilt or indifference, damaging reputations. I don't really know why he's being silent because it's not a criminal case, because then he would at least have the legal right to remain silent because addressing the situation could self-incriminate. Remember, there is no tangible evidence, unless... I came across episode 75 of Tana's podcast. Tana said that she cheated on her boyfriend with Cody, and the boyfriend was mad. And the boyfriend, well...
I always see those TikToks of like things I did with my boyfriend and like still stayed with him. And granted, I didn't want to stay with him, but like I want to do that with him. But it was just... And I went back every time I would cheat on him. And I don't think that's necessarily wrong because it's like...
Then you should have let me out.
Yeah. And so then, you know, he finally like let me break up with him and then did end up going through my phone and like screenshotted all my texts with everyone. Not even just like my texts with like guys. Like, you know what I mean? I remember he'd like found all my texts with like Cody Ko from like years prior and shit. And he like found all those. But he also like found a bunch of texts that were like just me like talking with my friends, but like being offensive or whatever. And he like made this whole like YouTube video and had it on a flash drive. Like, and it was like exposing everything about me and then blackmailed me for like all my money in my bank account. I paid him.
So apparently there's a crazy ex out there with a flash drive of DMs between Tana and Cody Ko from the time that the alleged situation took place. This could be another third-party corroboration, which then takes it from civil to criminal because now there's tangible evidence. Now, it's important to note that there are no cases, and I don't think there will be, because Tana said multiple times that her and Cody are friends. They're friendly, while also acknowledging that what happened was illegal. And unless she decides to take this to court, Cody can continue to be silent, while his wife gets bombarded by comments about this, which is one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen, almost as pathetic as him promoting his disgusting friend.
Not many people know that you've already lost fans over an eerily similar topic. You used to frequently feature and promote your college friend Colby Leachman in your videos, until it came out that during your school days, Leachman's university put him on probation for, as a United States District Judge would later put it, the non-consensual videotaping of act with another student, showing the video to other people, lying to the police about the video, and behaving horribly to that individual and at least one other woman. To make matters worse, the woman in the video also alleged that Leachman her before the recording.
Now, this was an entire court case, but it was against Duke University. Leachman initially lied to the officer, denying that he videotaped anything, but then he got caught. Leachman again lied and identified the woman as a previous girlfriend. Eventually, Leachman admitted the people in the video were his friend and the person that got hurt. He went on to say that it was all consensual, but on the video, the survivor clearly and audibly objected to the videotaping. But she cannot be heard objecting to the activity. Interesting was Leachman's dad was a higher up at Duke. Mr. Leachman was the son of a Duke professor and a stepson of a Duke provost. And the conclusion to this situation says, while reasonable people might well think that more serious consequences would have been appropriate for two students who participated in the non-consensual videotaping with another student and thereafter showed the video to other people who lied to the police about the video and who even under their own version of facts behaved horribly to the survivor and at least one other woman, this court does not review Duke's disciplinary decision with de novo, which de novo is a Latin phrase that means from the beginning. And while one could second guess certain aspects of Duke's failures to act in 2011, the court does not evaluate Duke's conduct with the benefit of hindsight or in a vacuum. The undisputed evidence shows that Duke offered the survivor resources to assist her in dealing with and respected her desire for privacy and anonymity until she was ready to proceed. So this did happen 100%, and Cody was promoting this guy to all of us.
And at some point, you did wise up, so he's no longer part of your content, but he still seems like he's very much a part of your friend group. From the continued hangout since then to inviting him to your wedding just last year, people are under the impression that you're best friends with someone who, at best, committed an illegal act and at worst, is an alleged rapist.
And he stays silent about this as well when people bring it up. Well, shouts out to Chaz Kirschman and D'Angelo Wallace and my patrons for your continued and ongoing support. Because as interesting as it is, always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes as always, brothers and sisters. I will see you in the next video. This was crazy video, honestly. If you guys are new here to this video, don't forget to subscribe. I also did it. My most recent video before this was about Imallexx. That situation is insane. It needs awareness to it. Go check it out. Should be above right here. I'll also link it down below. Also, thank you to everybody who's donated in this year's fundraiser. We are doing a fundraiser for RAIN this year, and we're about halfway to our goal. As you can see, we're at $2,337 and 5,000 raised. We are so close to $500. And let me tell you exactly how easy it is to donate. All you got to do is go to it, click donate. You can do $5, $20, $50, or other, and just select $1. We could meet this goal today if each and every one of you donated $1. I know we could do that. Let's get it done. If you guys have any topics for me, go to my Instagram. I upload over there pictures of my adventures in nature. And thank you to my patrons for your continued ongoing support. I love you. We are going to do a patron live stream soon. We've been doing a lot of activity in the Discord server for patrons. I'm going to be doing stuff for channel members. So if you want to do that and a live stream this weekend, and I hope to see you there. Subscribe, notifications turned on. And that's just another way to become a member of the Rep Squad. The Rep Squad is the best squad. I expect to see you in the comment section along with the rest of the Rep Squad. I'm gonna go eat now. Love you, bye. So hungry. What's my next video, guys?